And good evening, everybody. Hey, Lupita, Melissa, everybody coming in here. Mozart, good evening, everybody on the program here. You're watching Encounters. And hey, Julie, everybody here on TikTok. Notorious, welcome. April, good evening. Maureen Walsh, hey, good to see you. Sue House, everybody out there. Chrissy, Udovich, everybody out there. Notorious. Everyone come and read a Lynn. Thank you, Cleo, for the gifts. Jersey for Life, thank you. Sister, we appreciate it. Thank you again for the gifts. We so much appreciate it. Time something. Rue, hey Rue, welcome. John Jones, good to see you. Everyone coming in here. Rudy, good to see you, Rudy. William Bucking, hey William Bucking. L, hey L, welcome to Encounters. And we welcome everybody. Hello to Encounters. Everybody around the world. Michelle Page, 420, welcome. Deb, good to see you. Everybody out there. Dick, welcome Dick to Encounters. Sober to Fitness, welcome. And thank you for the gift, April. Thank you so much. Angel Eyes, 55. Mike Truth. Hey, Judy. Yvette, good to see you. D, hey D. Teresa Peterson, how you doing? Good evening. Let's see here. 420 Californian, welcome 420. Quiet Grandpa, that's a great name. Jaros, Judith. Let me see. Annette Atkins, hello Annette. Jim Ferguson. Let's see who else we got here. We all Jesus Loves the. Welcome, Jesus Loves the. Hey, Mike Truth, good to see you. Good evening, Gary Haas in Iowa. Everybody out there. Avion, welcome Avion. Good to have you with us. Stargazer, good to see you. Londo 4, hello from Michigan. Mark Jackson. Kitty Mama, thank you for the heart. One of my favorite t-shirts. Sue House, thank you. Pretty soon, actually, I'm going to make another Ashtar Command t-shirt with a spaceship on it. And I'll wear that on the show here. So I've got some ideas for that. So yeah. Papa, hi, Commander from Kentucky. Avion, thank you for the love you so much gift. I appreciate that. Richard J. Jules, thank you for the heart. David Laveau, hey, David. Jules, hey, Jules. Everybody out there, John Jones. It's all recorded on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. So you didn't really miss anything because you can always go on my YouTube channel. I think I've got almost the last show I was downloading, and I think we're almost all caught up from the show last night. That's being put on my YouTube channel right now. So yeah, Freemy, thank you for the gifts. We appreciate everything, all the beautiful things here. Hey, Warlord, good evening. Have a good to see you. And let's see, Feed Me Worms. Hey, Feed Me Worms. Gigi Daniels, good to see you as well. Frank Williams, I think it is. Sweet. I'm going to be showing a video tonight. Man, is this good. I'm going to show you a video from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base that was just recorded by somebody. And it was an amazing video. Vanzi, thank you. Jersey for Life, thank you. So I'll explain that. You ask, hey, 007. So the reason why I've been all these years called Commander, and the reason why I call myself CmdrAleon, is because I'm in control of my own cosmic spirit. So when I use the word Commander for all these years on my radio show here, wherever I go, it's because I'm in complete spiritual command of myself. No one commands me. No one tells me what to do. I think for myself. I speak for myself, and I speak for no one else but myself. So when I use the word Commander, it's different than the Earth-based definition of a commander, like somebody's a commander of a military, Air Force. No. So for me, the word commander means I'm a liberated person, a liberated consciousness, and no one can tell me what to do or, sway me to go off my path. I've been on the path for a long time, so I'm in command and control of myself, and nobody else controls me. So that is my definition of the word commander. Yep. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Thanks for the question, by the way. Lee Chen, welcome. Thanks for the question, by the way. Lee Chen, welcome. Cheryl V. Smooth, welcome. Yes, always. No, not always, but yeah. Good one. Good one, Teresa. Yali, very good. Miss B, good to see you. And let's see here. Teresa, you got me on that one. Can you tell me if I have a chip in me? The only way I can do that is to be able to scan you. If you have a chip in you, the only way I can do that is to essentially scan you. So in a little bit, if you want me to scan you for an implant, I will be happy to do it. That's the way I run my show here. This is a very different type of UFO show. I don't do things the way traditional ufologists do on the subject on YouTube or here. I don't follow anybody's format. That's why I do what I do, and that's why this show is as big as it is. Number one for over 3 years on the TikTok. I cover the spiritual aspects of this, not the nuts and bolts. I will definitely get into scanning people because I can do it. And so I'm happy to scan a person if they think they've been, first of all, the question I would ask you a couple questions. I would ask you a lot of questions regarding whether you were taken or abducted, Avion. And by doing that, I get to learn a little bit more about your background. And as I learn about you, hey, Worldlord, thank you. I can tell at that point that I either need to scan you or I don't need to scan you. I'll know that just right away. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. So, I've taken out over 100 implants on my show here since 2024. Yep. I don't even keep track. But I've helped over 100 people on here since last year. And just do it. Do the implants go back? Feed the worm? No. The implants, once you take them out, I protect the person. Once I take the implant out, I protect them and they'll never come back again. Avion said, when I was younger, I saw a UFO. Interesting. Awesome Amy. Good to see you, Awesome Amy. Diana Davidson. Accidentally aligned. Hey there. Let's see. Bonnie Ellis. Hey, thank you for the share. Can you still make fifth kind contact peacefully, or does that void the link? No, there's no voiding of the link. If you know what to do, you can train yourself with a group of people to make contact peacefully. I can see you, Bonnie. James, welcome. Lynn 948, good to see you. I see a UFO in 2010. I think we have a few people with some stories about the UFO sightings, and we're going to get to people on here who have stories like that to tell. If you wish to share a story, whether it's from 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 weeks ago, I ran into a building and stayed there for a long time. Let's see here. Sober to fitness. Commander, do ETs experience male-to-male intimacy like on Earth, or do they view it as uncommon? My understanding from the space people, they observe the Earth. They know that these things do exist, but it's not really something that I've ever heard them tell me about through telepathic communications over the years. They view us. They know that we have different lifestyles on the planet. They don't judge them. They just observe them. But on their worlds, they don't have any of that. It's just different. Hey, Jojo, thank you for the gifts. Hey, Lexi, good to see you. Let's see. Hey, Euro Automotive. Used to be visited by tall entities. Happened for years at a time. Wow, interesting. So we're going to get into some stuff here. I do want to show you this video, and I think you're all going to bring you up here if you can come up. And then we'll get to some other people, and also we'll do some. We'll help this other person and scan them for possible implants too. So I want to show people the sighting near It's near Wright-Patterson on May 24th at 10 p.m. Let's take a look at this video. We're going to start with some UFO news. And let me just do this here. Okay. Let me turn the light out here for a moment. Thank you for the gift. We're now going to, and it's not a long video. They only recorded 11 seconds, which is crazy. But it's a good 11 seconds video. Let's take a look at this. This is from near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. check this out. May 25th, this was recorded. Check this out. Pretty cool. Now, they only recorded 11 seconds of this, but 11 seconds of good video is good video. This is Encounters UFO News, May 25th, Wright-Patterson, near Wright-Patterson, not at Wright-Patterson, near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I love being able to show you real footage from all over the place. And I got to tell you, the space people are monitoring our Air Force bases, Wright-Patterson and other bases around the world. They are monitoring them. And you're going to see more and more of this activity as we go into the summer of 2025. As we get towards 2026, things are going to get pretty wild. And let me go back to the light. I want to tell you a few things here. Give me a second. All right. Okay. I'll be loading that up on my Astro Command channel and this other video at some point between tonight and tomorrow. So, according to Bashar, and I do listen to Daryl Anka's communications with Bashar. If anyone's not heard of Bashar, Daryl Anka has been communicating with Bashar way before there was any internet, TikTok, or YouTube. And I believe Daryl Anka has a channel on here on TikTok, official channel here on TikTok too. So according to Bashar, which is through Daryl Anka, Bashar says we're going to have normalized contact with the Palladians in 2027. So between 2025 and 2027, what do you think is going to happen? Hey, Lynette, good to see you, sister. Hey, good to see you, sister, all the time, Lynette. It's been a long time. Hey, Crafter, thank you. So what do you think between now and 2027 on the planet Earth and off the planet is going to happen? I was earlier just watching the latest videos about contact from Bashar. Jordan Bell, thank you so much. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for that gift, Jordan. Wow, that's pretty wild. You know? And I've talked about contact for a lot of years before I got on TikTok and when I was on Facebook, and I'm still on Facebook with my two Astro Command groups. So I think Daryl Anka, I think Bashar is right about the contact, but from his perspective, he's saying Bashar says 2027. He's giving more information out in the gatherings where Daryl Anka goes to speak regarding this. I would venture to say that Jojo, yes, he is fascinating. I would venture to say that we're going to see before 2027 a lot more happening around our planet and in our oceans, coming out of the oceans. Now, I'm not a psychic. Well, I guess I could be a psychic in some ways, and I've done that before in some ways. But I'm going to take a jump out in the field, and yeah, you felt that, Lynette? Yeah. But I still think that 2026 is going to be an incredible year of sightings before even 2027 happens. There's no way it's going to be quiet in 2026. There's just no way. You know, I just don't see that. I keep getting something is going to happen. Something imminent is going to happen. And there's going to be a lot more that's going to be seen that no one can cover up. No government can cover up. This is what's going to happen here. You know, many of you, and I know many of you for the last couple of years, have had your own sightings for the last 3 years. And those sightings are important because those are sightings that you had with specific extraterrestrial intelligence. And that's telling me that you are the ones that are going to be helping people in your communities. Yeah, the ETs are, Cole, you're right. The space people are tired of waiting for us. So Daryl Anka, who I have a great deal of respect for, with Bashar says official contact in 2027. I think that 2026 is going to be a big player before 2027. And again, understand, the space people don't tell us, they don't operate in time. We operate in like, okay, it's time for breakfast, it's time for lunch, it's time for dinner. Oh, it's the weekend, let's go out dancing. Or we have to get there before the place closes down. We're always thinking in time, right? The star people, they don't even think in time. There is no time to think. Yeah, no time to think. Well, I'm still saying 2026. I'm saying, though, Terry, that Bashar, I was listening to his latest from Dal Anka. If you listen to Dal Anka, Bashar has always said 2027. I don't know how, again, how that works with them, the Essassani, but I am totally still committed to us coming through into 2026 with some major events that are galactic, that are cosmic, that will affect humanity. With all the problems we have on the planet Earth, and we do, that are Earth-based, this is going to be something that's going to wake people up. Whether it's 2026 or whether the space people decide to do 2027, either year doesn't make a difference within a year, but we're having increased sightings. There's no way around it. In 2025, we are seeing more sightings around the world than ever before. Why? Why are there more spaceships? Why are there more, if you want to call them UFOs, orbs? Why is there all this stuff starting to be recorded by people? Why is that happening? Does anybody want to jump in and come on up and discuss this and tell me what you think? And the beautiful part about me is I love different perspectives about that. And some of you might think it's going to happen later. Some of you might think it's happening sooner. Some of you think it's happening in 2026. Some of you will concur with Bashar that they're coming in 2027 with the Palladians and other. Now, Bashar says in his latest broadcast that they're going to be hybrid humans and the Palladians. And then he says the next grouping will be other extraterrestrial civilizations that will appear and connect with us. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right, Cole. It's for conditioning, so it's not such a huge, crazy announcement. I think you're right. They don't want to mess people up. They don't want to scare people. We've said this before. I've said it on my radio show. The last thing the good people from outer space want to do is have us freak out. Could you imagine humanity freaking out? That would not be a good thing. And that's why they've been doing it the way they've been doing it. Let's see here. I can bring Lynette up, and then Feed Me Worm. I'll bring you up too. Lynette, I haven't talked to Lynette in a long time. Stuff happened over the 3 years I've known her. Hey, sister, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
We're definitely feeling pretty good out here and feeling very confident, and I'm excited about what's going to be coming. I'm saddened by the way we treat people in different countries and the way we're bombing people and so forth, but that comes from a empathy for people to stop doing that to other people.
Everything.
But
All living
yeah,
creatures, all living
we
beings. I have empathy
all
for it
living
all.
beings. Yeah.
Yep. It's
So
so
you want to
sad.
come on
Even the
screen,
earth,
or
even the earth. Okay, I knew you were going to ask me that.
you were ahead of me, so there you go. There's beautiful
There
Annette.
we go.
We've known her for a couple of years. And how
For
are
a
things
while
going?
now, for sure.
Any updates from you out where you are? It's been a while.
It's been a long time. I've been laying low, just going through my experiences, right? I've always wondered, like in this conversation that you're having, and this disclosure, and all of these beautiful sightings that are happening all over the world, how much do you believe? It's always been a question. How much is that of that is man-made? How much of that is us with, like, as Stephen Greer says, that right there's some sort of a deception as well. that we
Hmm.
have to watch for. So like, but there's so many beautiful sightings, like ones that you cannot, there's no mistaking them. Like there's none, there's no way. They are certainly coming. I love your idea of the prelude, right? The slow introduction, but that's what's been happening.
Hmm. Hmm.
So much contact with multiple beings. Multiple beings are coming through, right?
Yes.
You were talking about hybrid there, and that's why I popped up. I was like, oh, because I have memory. I have memory of being part of the hybrid program, maybe in a
Hmm.
previous life, or I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but it was a past life memory. I was a doctor, and there was some sort of a lab, and there was a Neanderthal woman. There was a woman there, but it was definitely further back in time.
Hmm.
But she was holding a hybrid aqua baby, and yeah, so hybrid programs are certainly something that is happening. From the explanations that I've received, there's many more beings than just regular humans that are here on Earth,
Oh
of
yeah.
course, right? Of course. I think that was part of the great experiment. This is why they're coming now, right? Because many of us that have been planted here have been calling, right? And as we all awaken, the more of the calling happens. They when they talk to me, they call it more of a culling, like CULLY, like a culling, right? Than a
Like a call.
calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Hey, we're calling you. Come. And the let's on that one point that Lynette's saying, everybody, the calling, in a sense, and the other, I want to answer Dee's comment or question. Why are all these ships coming here, invading our space? Well, they're not invading anything. These space people have been here for billions of years before we even existed. So you have to look at the planet as billions of years old, folks. And it's not the people that talk about thousands of years. That's nothing. Thousands of years is absolutely kid stuff. We're
think
talking
bigger.
billions of yeah, we're talking billions of years old. If you study the history of our
Mhm.
planet, it's not thousands of years old. It's billions of years old.
Sweetie, they
So
found fossils from like 30,000 years ago with human feet, right?
yeah,
100, 200,000 years ago. We've been
yeah.
here. Yeah.
And we are brought here. We chose, all of us, whether you remember or not. We have volunteered. Now you might say to yourself as a human being with your 3D mind saying, "I didn't volunteer anything. What are you talking about volunteering?" Yes, you did. You just don't remember yet that you volunteered. You came from another planet. You came here to assist the planet to get ready for contact. And even if you're not ready for contact, no worries. That's why it's going to be like a prelude, like you're saying. We're getting gradually ready, and that's why they're not coming in force all over the planet, lighting up the skies, because that would freak people out. There's billions and billions of people on Earth. The last thing the space people want to do is freak you out. Believe me when I say
Mm-hmm.
this.
I remember when I first thought of aliens, when I, like years ago, I mean, I'm talking like I don't want to reveal my age, but well over 20 years ago, when I first found out about aliens, okay, I believed in my human thinking that they were all demons. Like that's what I thought. So I can actually relate to the people who are just waking up now, and the way their thinking is, and how, like, I've had over 20 years of experience to now broaden obviously my horizons on what's
Right,
actually
right, yeah, you've
happening
come
in
a
the
long
world.
way.
Obviously, but you have to start somewhere, and that's where they start. And so I understand that fear base, that why they didn't want to just come right out of it, because it would in a sense cause mass hysteria. Like I can understand, right? I
Yeah,
have empathy
yeah.
towards it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't want to do that. And I can tell people
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in contact telepathically always with my space family. I can communicate. Sometimes I have to turn it off when I'm working or when I'm driving somewhere. I can't like deal with the road and then the community. I just tell them, let me, hey, Marie, let me just relax when I'm on the interstate highway. Please do not try to telepathically communicate me when I'm driving with crazy people on the interstate. It's like, you don't have to do that when
There's
I'm
a time
driving,
and a place, okay?
There's a time and a place. But you have to understand, space people, when they want to communicate with you, They're not thinking about whether you're on an interstate highway with a lunatic in front of you and one in back of you on the other side of you. They're thinking, we have to communicate with him. We have to give you telepathic information. I said, that's fine. I'm willing to get it. Wait till I get out of my car in a comfortable place, relaxed, and then you can communicate with me. So sometimes we have that ebb and flow when I'm getting, because I've been telepathic for most of my adult life. So yeah.
Mhm. You know,
But
I've had
people
this
don't have
weird
to worry.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this definite weird experience I'd love to share with you. Whenever, like the first time I've channeled, or any time I've had beings come through me and channel, and I've
Yeah.
channeled the mantis, and I've channeled a few other beings. I have no idea what, but mantis for sure. Um, and they, when they come through to me, my subconscious takes a side, like a sidestep, and it's like I'm telepathically talking to them, like you say. But when I ask them, I say, "Why are you here? Like, why me?" Kind of thing. Like, why did you pick
Right.
me of
Right.
all people? And they always talk to me, like they always answer me saying, "Because she asked." Like they talk about me in the third,
Yeah.
they respond to me
In
about
the, in
me
the
in the
third
third
person.
person.
In the third
I'm
person.
like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
that? Like, what do you
Hey, are you talking to me? Are you talking about me?
like, who's she? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
I'm talking. We're talking to you, and they don't, and the space people don't talk Italian. Like, are you talking to me? That's not the way they operate. I have a little bit of sense of humor, folks. Just let you know.
You
But
have to.
no,
So do they, though.
yeah, they do have sense of humor. One of the
Mhm.
things I think people need to really know, as I think we're going to get more, and I don't really, I've made it my goal over the years because on Facebook there were so many people channeling. I just said to myself, I got to turn that off because these people are channeling their higher selves, and they all be channeling 10, they'd all be channeling the same being, 20 people on different groups that are into the cosmic stuff, and say, wait a minute, you're an Ashtar, you're an Ashtar, you're an Ashtar, you're this, you're this, you're this. There can't be 10,000 Ashtars on Facebook. So I finally got to the point where I know that Ashtar doesn't communicate through channeling anymore because the only person that he went through and that he didn't even channel is my dear friend Ashtar Athena, which is her pictures on my profile with all the videos and stuff. She had direct communications with Ashtar Athena, and she's in her 70s now. She was one of the original contactees that actually physically went on the ships when she was younger. And they still, I think, I don't know if they took her on the ship now, but of old times we got together with 50, 60 people we called conclaves with Ashtar Athena. Ashtar would be with her, and I got to meet Ashtar. He would assimilate into her physical form. He wasn't possessing her body. It's something beyond Earth understanding how that works. It's not a possession. And when he'd be there, he'd be driving in my car at the time to a radio station, a commercial station. I used to take her to 3 or 4 Connecticut-based stations that were big, powerful stations, and the talk show host wanted to meet this woman. And I sat there, and I'd see Ashtar speaking, and when he'd speak, he'd be moving her head a certain way because he's a space person. And when he was in my car, I say,
That's amazing.
when Ashtar came into her body, and I was driving to his AM station in Connecticut, I said, Ashtar, how do you feel driving in a car? And he would talk to me and said, oh. And I said, oh, we're in a car going to a radio station. I guess you prefer a spaceship over a car. And he would talk in a very specific manner. The actual Ashtar, when he speaks in a very specific tone.
Hmm.
But he is a very beautiful person. He has a lot of love. I can tell this story about Ashtar. We're at a gathering of people in Western Connecticut, and Ashtar Athena was there, and they had Kentucky Fried Chicken. They had all kinds of food, and I'm looking at the chicken, and then Ashtar says, "Do you want a piece?" I said, "What do you mean?" Well, I know you want a piece. Why don't you take one? I'm saying, and I was kind of like laughing, and I said, "Well, I don't want to just." And so I took a piece, and it was fine. But he was very observant, you know. But that was many years ago when that happened. So I never told that story, but I have a lot of different stories, and
I
I just
bet
think
you do.
people
Yeah, so
need
do
to
I.
know, and you do too. And people need to know.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I've been on this path, and Lynette knows this for many, many years. I'm not
Hmm.
a newbie, trying to figure it all out. I got to figure it out. There's certain things I'm still learning, but the one thing I got figured out is that we are going to have contact, and we're going to have it based on space people's time, not on when we want it. Because it's like like little kids say, "I want it now, mommy and daddy. I
Well,
want it now."
contact is happening.
It's already happening. It's
It's
happening
happening. Like
gradually.
I don't even understand going to have, like, I can't even go back to how my life was before. Like, I
Yeah,
don't even understand. I The beings that I meet are I couldn't even make them up if I tried. I don't have that type of imagination.
yeah,
Like, I can't, like, they pop out of nowhere, right? And I mean, I meet them in meditation, mainly, is when they come through for me. They don't come through my dream state. It's always through meditation, right? Where I get transported, either brought to a spaceship, or sometimes they'll channel through me. They have come
yeah.
through for me, for with witnesses, and I also have recordings for it. Thank God. But what I wanted to mention, what when I channel the one, okay, when I first channeled Source Energy, when Source came through, they said they were Source Energy and they were white spaceships. White
Hmm.
spaceships. They like me to clarify that, and I've had to do some research on it. And white spaceships are always like, they're associated with saints and like the higher, and you mentioned something about that before too. But they were white spaceships, right? Um, and where was I going with this now? Oh, yeah. When they came through and they were using me as a channel and talking through me telepathically, as even I was writing it down, because I was writing it down, it was almost like there was a switchboard, it felt like.
Hmm.
And it was like, please hold. Okay, you can continue. Okay, go ahead. All right, your turn. All right. And then another one would say, let me try. And like, it was more than one being that was coming
Yeah,
through. Who exactly they were, I have no idea. I
yeah,
have no idea. Like, they said they were Source, and that Source is infinity and Source is all, and that's who they were, and they were here because she asked, right? Like, that's it. And they came from a white spaceship. That's what I
yeah.
know.
And the beautiful thing is, what you're saying, Lynette, and this is the beautiful thing when we are willing to. One of the things I've learned over the years as being a space being coming out of the closet over 20 plus. Well, I actually came out of the closet when I was a kid. Went back in the closet, came out of the closet when I was adult. And when I got on radio, that's when I came out of the closet. When I was on a commercial rock station doing a UFO talk show, I couldn't say anything like that because it was a commercial big rock station, and we got a UFO show, me and another person. What was that? That's weird. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I heard something. Something strange just happened for a second. It just threw me consciousness on a way. But I'm not going to ask anybody if they heard like a. But anyway, uh, yeah, something weird just happened that threw me off, but I'm all right. Um, yeah, give me a
I have
second to
another
refocus.
That's
Go
okay. You
ahead.
know what? Let me hop in here and let you recalibrate for a second. I'll be your sidekick here for a second. But I have experience to share with you, and I have a question for you as well. All right. How do you feel about, because what is your take on the star seed? The plants, like us being star seeds, and there's a reason why I'm asking this, because I have a story that goes along with it, and then I would like your take on it, right?
Okay.
I had it happened actually. It was a continuation of the channeling experience I had, because during the channeling experience, what was happening, they constantly told me that I was going through a simulation. And when I saw the spaceship, I didn't see it in this reality. It was like I glitched out of this reality. The clouds that were originally in the sky dissipated, they were gone, and I had blue skies and there was a white spaceship, and then I glitched back out. Then I looked at my partner, my at the time, who was on the couch, and he was sitting on one side of the couch, and then I glitched out of reality, like glitched out, and then he was sitting on the other side of the couch with a completely different expression, and then I glitched again, and then he was instantly on the other side. And it wasn't until approximately a year and a half later that I went through this experience. They told me I was going to receive um, um, uh, uh, what do you call it? Like, I was going to get whatever it is, I was going to get something, like an
Hmm.
enhancement
Hmm.
or whatever. And I sat there all night because they told me to do psilocybin, so I did. And then I sat there all night waiting for it. And then they told me that it was going to happen while I was sleeping. So I went to bed right away, of course. But through the night, I was brought back in my dreams back to the time that I was channeling and during those glitching experiences. So in that time frame, I was then brought, I was met with this energy, and it was an energy that I recognized as a child. And I became like a child, and I got all excited. And I was like, there you are. I've been waiting for you. I was so happy to see them again. And then they pulled me right out of the room through the wall. My partner, who was sitting on the couch that I was originally talking to you about, he became like a sim character frozen in time. And
Oh
I was
wow.
waving goodbye to him. I was like, bye, I'm leaving now. I was so happy. And I was filled with love, like all of this love. And I got pulled out into the stars, and then I saw the earth. And then I looked at my hand. I was looking at my hand. I flipped it over, and it was still human. But then I got this light that shot to my right finger, and it shot up. It grew, and it grew blue and luminescent. And then I heard that was it, a light code activation. You will never
Light
be
code
the
activation.
same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Wow. Like, so what is your take on this whole star seeds ignite and us actually transforming into, because I know I come from the Octurian line. This is why I work with the mantis. We heal in the neurology, we heal especially in the nerve endings and past life healing and
Hmm.
traumas. This is what we deal with, right? So I know this about myself, but what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that for starseed, the terminology starseed for me is like I said, when you're coming out of the closet, back to that whole thing, is that's a liberating experience. When you don't care whether what a human person thinks on social media about you, and they say, oh, you think you're a starseed, oh, you think you're from another planet, or you, who cares what you think? I mean, hypothetically, I've years ago made a decision that I can care less if people believe there are people out here that are starseed from other worlds. It doesn't matter because if you have to spend time getting those people to understand that you're a starseed, they might understand, or they're just going to be closed-minded to the idea that you are a starseed and that you are lit up in your consciousness. And we're here to bust the matrix. We're not here to kowtow to people that don't believe anything that anybody out here says. If they have a problem believing stuff, they need to go meditate for about 2 hours, close their eyes, and turn the TV off and get inside themselves. Because I'm here to liberate. I'm here to break everything up. I'm here to shake this planet up. I've always been that way. I'm a
Shakening. It's like
shaker,
quakening.
and a waker, a shaker and a waker. And people know that about me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to just say it the way I feel. Well, I don't care what people think of any one of us out here who are awakened, because as long as you know who you are, who cares what your family thinks about you, what your people down the street in the neighborhood think, or somebody thinks about you going to a class where you're going to be experiencing an outer body experience to go off planet somewhere. Who cares if they don't get it? They're missing out on an opportunity to expand consciousness. And I
I
think we
truly
have,
believe we can.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So we are here. You're here. I know you very well. You want to expand consciousness. You're living consciousness. You're breathing consciousness. When we can live, breathe, and walk consciousness instead of being unconscious, then that is the most liberating experience you can have. And then when it comes to not being afraid to say, well, I think I'm from the Palladian star system, or I think I'm from the Andromeda star system, or I think I'm from some other star system, because you are. You are living a human experience out there, but you are from another star system. You're starting to realize, you're waking up to saying, I've had the feeling I've been from somewhere else. I just don't know where. You know why you're saying that is because you are from somewhere else. Yeah, you're an Earthian. You're a human being. You might work in a supermarket. You might work in a lawyer's office. You might work in a cake shop. Whatever. You might be a lifeguard. Whatever you are on the earth, you're something more than that. You're something way more than that, which is you are a starseed, which means the definition of a starseed, from my perspective, is that we come from specific energy levels, other planetary systems, and we are here to not only have the experience of Earth, but to remember who we are. So once we remember who we are,
Right.
game's over. You can't stop somebody and
Oh,
tell them, oh, I don't believe anything you say. If you don't believe anything I say, hey, look, that's a free will society. You're not supposed to believe everything I say. You're supposed to wake up and find out for yourself what it is that you are. Whether you believe
That's what
somebody
we
out here
came
or
here to
not.
experience,
Yeah,
right? That's
we
what we
sure
came
did.
here to do, is to remember to go through that, because otherwise, like, and it's such a beautiful experience. Like, never would have I ever thought that we are partial, like, the fact that our bodies are changing, and the atmosphere around us is changing. I've had these personal views of, like, they've shown me, I've walked through, like, they've shown me how the earth is going to have this pink plasma light. It's coming, right? It's a new energy that's going to come through, and it's going to change things. Like, it's already here, but only for, like, it's going to change things. Like, things are
Yeah,
changing here, and we are changing along with the earth. Our bodies, like, those dormant DNA cells, they're no longer dormant. Like, these all these creatures, from what I've heard and how I've heard it explained to me, is as many creatures that has ever lived on this planet since the dawn of time, since this planet has been created. That's how many creatures and beings there are out there in the universe. Like, it's like a playground, right? Like, you can imagine the mantis, and there's mantis beings, and there's a whole world out there with, like, cats and dogs, like, every creature that you could ever think of. There's a planet with those
yeah.
creatures on them,
Like
like
the
that
Lyrans, and there are beautiful people, the
everything,
Lyrans. It's like if we look at Star
anything.
Trek or even Star Wars or Star Trek, even though the basics of the good ones, they all look different. The good ones, even in Star Wars, some didn't look. They walk, they have human bodies, but their faces might be different. They still are intergalactic space people that are here to be good. So what we were actually being educated through Star Trek as an example. Growing up as a kid, we saw Star Trek with all these different, like the Klingons and all these different space people, was to give us an idea of what maybe a space person looked like when we were kids, before we had internet, before we had TikTok, before we had all this stuff. So growing up in the 60s, seeing that stuff, I'd watch all the Star Treks. I watched all the Star Wars, and see that there was the Empire. And then there was the good space people that are trying to defeat the Empire, that wanted to control and enslave people. So when you take that, again, Hollywood takes, their own take on things. But essentially what we were being shown is that there is, in a sense, an intergalactic world out there, and that we are part of that world, whether we believe it or not. We are all part of that world. Doctor Who is another good example, Julie. I used to watch all the original Doctor Who's where he traveled different places, time travel. So we were being prepped by all these different things in the early days for what is happening now, which is in reality the increased orbs, the big orbs coming out of the ocean, the spaceships that have traveled in and out of the ocean that the Navy has actually seen. All these things have prepped us for what is coming now. Now, either, as far as I will say this, either the billions of people on this planet have to be gently prepped, and that's why they're not coming in massive scales, lighting up our skies like a firecracker, or coming out of the ocean, of the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, or wherever, coming out of the seas from the space bases or oceans. They're going to be coming out of the seas. When this contact thing happens, it's not going to be just in the skies above us. It's going to be in all the oceans of our planet. Spaceships will be coming out of the ocean, out of our seas.
Out of the
These
mountains.
out of the mountains. The space people, the space people live here already. This is
Yeah,
what
they
really
sure
gets
do.
me. People saying,
They
when are
have
we going to have
bases here.
contact?
Yeah.
The space people have space bases in our oceans. They have space bases in certain mountains around the world. They have an entrance in Tibet, which goes into the inner Earth to the Gartha network, and they've been here for billions and billions of years. As Carl Sagan would say, billions and billions. So they've been here for billions of years. It's not like they've been
And
here
not to
just now or 10
mention,
years.
not to mention like the fact that like with my experience, how I just glitched slightly out of this reality and went into another one, and there they were, right? Like, so they could be here. They were okay. So I had this experience. I've had many, but of the clouds, right? They are the clouds. They came to me. They've told me so many times, we are the clouds. We play games where they're like, that's us, that's not us, that's us, right? They've come to me in my meditations and shown me a cloud as a spaceship. Like I've gone to the clouds and seen the bigger white spaceships, like not the small
Yeah.
one that stays like close to me, but
Like
the
the
one that's
mothership
farther
or the
away.
starship. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are in the clouds. They are the clouds. They are cloaked as the clouds. I don't like they are them, right?
Yeah.
So they're all around us all the time, slightly in a different reality. Just, we just have to change our view a little bit.
Hey, Lynn, I want to thank you on that note for
Thank
being my
you. Yeah,
first
I gotta
guest,
go.
Lynette, and
Thank
we'll
you.
let her go. And thank you so much for sharing your inspirational story. And that's what it's all about. All right, Lynette, I'm going to
So
let your
much fun
sister
here.
go
Bye
down.
bye.
Always good
Thank
to
you.
talk to Lynette, and it's been a long time. You're watching Encounters, and this is the thing, folks. Don't be afraid to be who you are. When I say that, as being also like I juggle between UFO talk show host and contactee and Ashtar commander. So as I juggle all those three things and say, how can an Ashtar commander be a UFO talk show host? Because I can, because I am. That's the deal. The deal is, there are people that do UFO talk shows that wear three-piece suits on these big cables channels, and they're very officially dressed and whatever. Me, I got my tie-dye shirt on. I'm laid back a little bit. I get amped up a little bit, and I just do what I want to do, be who I want to be. I don't kowtow to anybody. I don't care who they are. I want to just liberate consciousness. I want to get people to just get out of themselves and realize that we are on a planet called Earth, and there are other planetary systems that are visiting us from other worlds. They've been doing it for billions of years, you know, and that's the key thing, and I think a lot of you would like to see contact. Peggy's right. Always be yourself. You don't have to be what other people want you to be. When somebody else wants you to be, or a group of people say, I want you to be like us, don't do it. Just be yourself. Everyone should be themselves. You know, it really is the way it should be. And that's why contact, and I think Bashar talking about it with Dalanka, communicating with Bashar, his most recent contact with him in a gathering or whatever, Bashar is still on 2027. I think we're going to have contact sooner than 2027. And that I think is the most important thing to remember. And, people, no matter whether contact happens exactly at a certain specific time, and 10,000 people saying we're going to have contact at this time, don't be discouraged if the day it's supposed to happen, nothing happens. And then you get discouraged and say, well, I don't think we're ever going to have contact. They said it would happen in 2027, 2026. Oh, I think I'm going to go back to working at McDonald's. Just kidding. You never give up on contact because maybe it doesn't happen exactly as planned on a specific date. You always want to be prepared for and the thing is, you need to prepare yourselves for contact, whoever you are. You need to do the meditations. You need to focus on that. Okay? There's a lot of distractions on this planet. Believe me, I know. I'm a human being just like everyone else. But on another level, people need to be centered. And as people get centered, they can get prepared for what's going to happen. Yeah, it'll happen when it's going to happen. And hey, look, if someone predicts it's going to happen on a specific time period and it doesn't happen, don't be mad at that person or angry and say, I told you so. You say it was going to happen. It didn't happen. No, 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 no. Grow up, be adults. Don't be upset with the persons out there around the world who are all predicting, contact in 2027 or whatever. We already got it happen, and we have orbs, we have different things people are recording. People on TikTok are recording spaceships. They're having contact. There's probably more people recording stuff on here than on YouTube. Yeah, I would even imagine in general. I think there are more people in my observation of UFO footage here on TikTok. There's a lot of people recording stuff, you know. This is where it's at. This is where you need to be. Well, you can be anywhere you want, but this is where you need to be. Oh, no problem. You bet. You can definitely come up whatever night you're not working. I'll be happy to put you on the show. Oh, it's going to happen, Cleo, way sooner than you think. J74, do you think humans put stuff into our air to mess up our consciousness? My answer would be yes. In terms of media, major media, yes. I think they put things in our consciousness to kind of mess up our consciousness to be diverted from what's important, which is the actual preparing for contact. Benjamin says, do you think mass hysteria? They won't be able to do mass hysteria because there's too many people like myself here to help people and educate people to not be afraid. I think we have a lot of work to do because we're dealing on a planet with billions of human beings. So it's going to take a lot of people, no matter where they are in the world, to little by little reach other people in their neighborhoods, in a village in Europe or whatever. We are the people that are going to need to educate people. So we are the ones who will make that happen. Yeah, that's right. Team Light is eradicating fear. Well said. Well said. You know, and welcome all the people coming in here. You're watching Encounters. Judy McLean, welcome everybody out there, wherever you are. Edward David, 495. I see a lot of new faces and some regular Mark Jackson. And let's see, we had a person out here who wanted to be scanned. Hey, child of light, good to see you. Hey, Jordan, welcome back. Pink Kitten, in addition to meditation, I think the other things besides meditation, Pink, is to just stay centered in your day when you go out into a world that's crazy. Just stay centered. And let's see, Venus is saying 13 years ago at a beach at night, granddaughter saw a ship. Let's see here. Venus, why don't you come on up and tell us about that story if you want to? Hey, Debbie, good to see you. Maria, 63. Hey, Dragon, good to see you. And glad to have you with us. Why don't you? Danny says, what is the difference between fourth and fifth dimension? So I'm going to just bring people up randomly here, I think. Maybe. Oh, you're in bed with a bad cough. Okay. I hope you feel better. So the fourth, like when you go through schooling, you start fifth, third, first dimension, second, third, fourth, onward. So in the fourth dimension, that is an advanced level of consciousness. In the fourth dimension, the beings are living in a level of peace. The planets are stable. In the fifth dimension, and there's many dimensions, but the fifth dimension is more elevated in frequency. So therefore, the people that live in the fifth dimension planets are way more advanced than the fourth dimensional planets. So when you get from third dimension to fourth dimension, people are living differently. And they're living in the fourth dimension onward, they're living in peace. But as you go higher and graduate from one dimension to the other, you become more advanced in your consciousness. Yes, that's right, Lavola. Morse Toad, that's interesting, and welcome. So there's a lot to get ready for. I think, there are days when I'm like just thinking about contact. Other days I go about my day. Uh, our planet, Michelle, is not in third dimension, even though we have third dimensional conflicts happening, like in the Middle East or whatever. Hey, Pink, thank you for the kitten. We are actually in a higher frequency, but it doesn't look like it when you look at the things happening conventionally on the planet Earth. But we are, spiritually, we are waking up in a much higher frequency than we were a year or two or three ago. We're actually increasing our level of consciousness, which is really important. Hey, Ronnie Roswell, welcome to the show. Xavier, I think PN, Jason L. Channel. Let's see, Stinkbug, welcome. Griselda, welcome to the show. Autumn, Args, hey Args, welcome. Let's see. Hello from hey New Brunswick, good to see you, Danielle. Hey Zebra. I mean, hi Zebra. Let's see here. K53, Kristen's Crystal. Everyone coming in here, welcome. So we've been discussing, and this show is going to be recorded for my YouTube channel, which will be, I'll put this show on by tomorrow night on YouTube, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. And again, if you want to come up and share information that you have, or you have questions, Craigie B, good to see you. Please come up. You know, we always are very open here about interviewing people that have information to share. Let's see. Feed me worms. Let's see if they want to come up here. All right. Our second guest for the evening. Hey, Feed me worms. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. The reason I wanted to come up is because I've got a question for you that I think you could probably answer for me.
Okay, and please go ahead with it.
So, essentially, I was in an altered state of consciousness, that's as far as I'll go with that, and I was receiving an informational download, and, the entity identified itself as, like, an automated program sent from the light, but it was referring back to Yeshua or Yahweh Valhe, essentially stating that it was around in our field and sending informational broadcasts to the general population, affecting the quantum or metaphysical curtain on the conscious level entirely. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, there is well, I work with the Ashtar Command. I've worked with them all my life and before I came to Earth. So I'm a contactee, and this is from the 60s. But my take on that is what they're saying to you is that they have been watching our planet for millions, if not billions of years before our lifetime, before you and I existed in this lifetime. They're saying to you when they're communicating with you that we are here. We know you. We know of you. So what's your first name? Obviously, it's not Feed Me Worms.
My first name is Darian.
Darian, nice to meet you. Very good.
Nice to meet you.
So what they're saying is essentially that we are conscious of your existence. And even if you didn't know who they were, evidently they've been watching you for quite some time in your current lifetime. So that is important too, because they're communicating of a higher level of consciousness, and you're saying, who are you? Where are you from? You can interact and ask questions of them through telepathy. And what they do is they use telepathy to communicate with people like yourself. I would say that what you're getting is a telepathic communications through consciousness.
Yes, sir. I was very persistent in the moment of when it would all happen. I wanted a date and I needed it. I would not stop. And I was informed that they can't stop a dodo bird from pecking at its feet. They simply have to wait for it to realize that it has to look up to the stars.
Right. When it's funny when some people have their first visual sighting, they feel a positive feeling. This beautiful multicolored light is following me as I'm driving somewhere. Not me personally, I'm just being hypothetical. So as they're driving, they see this beautiful multicolored light. And they're in the country area, there's some fields, it's nighttime, maybe about 9:30, and they're saying, what's going on here? So they stop their car, they get out of the car, they're not afraid, and the object, kind of slows down. And then right off the side of the country road is a field. It's empty, it's a farm field. And then what happens is that multicolored light lands. Now, this is where they were communicating with this person for maybe a year. And they chose that night to follow them and send good positive energy to that person driving the car. The person in the car is driving by themselves. They pull over. It's nighttime. There's no other traffic coming down the country road. And the space people land the ship and get out and meet the person who's not afraid of them. And that's their first meeting after one full year. They finally agreed to meet each other. He didn't know or she didn't know when that meeting would happen. But on that country road at 9:30 at night, Nobody's there. There's a field. They pull over and have their contact. See what I mean?
Yeah, they don't really operate on like a linear timeline. They simply just kind of wait
No,
for the resonance of the
yeah,
quantum field to be
yeah. There's no linear
penetrated.
time. See, the space people, my space family, they don't operate in time at all. They don't care about time. For us on Earth, we care about what time we're going to get to the university for our first class, or whether we're going to get to go to a nice restaurant and have some Japanese food. And we want to get there before they close. In space, there's no closing or opening. It just is. It's everywhere like that.
You mentioned telepathic communication possibly interfering with driving. I was talking to my uncle about this experience, and as I'm talking to him about it, I suppose I broadcast it over to him, and he tells me that I need to stop because he's driving to work, and we got to talk about
Right.
that later.
Right. So we have the ability, and this is the thing that everybody has the innate ability to be telepathic. Not everybody uses telepathy because they don't know how to tap into it as a human being, but every single person out here, all over the world, every one of you has a telepathic mind. You just have to learn how to hone in on it and learn how to use it. Once you learn how to be telepathic, you can then learn how, once you find out who they are, telepathically communicate with your star family, your space family, once you know the planet, where it's at. Telepathy is universal. Telepathy has no limitations. It can go anywhere it wants. But most people on the planet, billions and billions of humans, do not use telepathy because they don't know how to do it. It's just like if you go to a yoga class and you watch all these people doing yoga exercise, say, well, I don't think I can do the yoga exercise. I just don't have the stamina to do that. Yes, you can. You can do the yoga exercise just as well as you can become telepathically able to wake up and communicate with each other. And there'll be a time when human beings on this planet will be both able to verbally communicate as we are now, but we will be telepathically human, meaning that all humans will be able to use their consciousness within to communicate without speaking verbally.
Well, didn't we have that before the fall of the Tower of Babel?
Well, I don't know about the Tower of Babel. We've always had the ability to be telepathic. So a lot of these parables are like basically the parables that you see in the old books and everything were just written by people that tried to figure it out or understand it. In truth, when you break down all these parables, the truth is in plain English that there was space people living on Earth that live here now. They've lived here for billions of years. And when they were on the surface of our planet, they communicated telepathically. They didn't really talk much like we're talking, conversing now. They were all telepathic. Are you there?
Now, does the ability for us to speak these words out loud via the utilization of our voice box assist in the specific types of manifestations that we typically utilize?
Well, the manifestations that we typically utilize are basically we were born to speak whatever language we speak, Japanese, English, Hindu, whatever it is that we speak as a language, a foreign language, whatever that dialect is. But when you sit quietly, and I'll sit quietly, for example, thank you, Sorella. Thank you everyone for the gifts. I'll sit quietly, close my eyes, and I'll talk and I'll ask questions to my space family. And then I close my eyes on purpose when I'm telepathically communicating. I don't want to see anything around me. I want to listen and see visually what happens. So when you close your eyes and you're being telepathic, it allows for you to download the information that you're getting from your star family. When you are not being telepathic, you're basically doing stuff on in the outer world, which is like going to the market, figuring out what yogurt to get. That's on the outer world. But in the inner world, through the closing of the eyes, through knowing you're telepathic, you're able to interact in a way that's different than the way we are doing it now. So if I was to sit here for 2 hours and not say anything and everybody was telepathic, we'd all be looking at each other and we'd be talking, but not verbally like we're doing with our lips and having this interaction.
For me personally, I find if I can see the person through the camera, it allows me to look at the center of their forehead and then go in through there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Feed Me Worms, thank you so much for coming up here, brother. I appreciate your questions and comments. And I know you're going to be, if you're not addicted to the show yet, you will be addicted. It's one of those kind of shows. So we appreciate you so much for coming up.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, we're going to bring you down, and now it's Feed Me Worms. And again, if you'd like to be on the show or join us on here live, you have any questions, experiences that you've had with spaceships, contact. Avion says, I don't know. Do I think that you're tapping in with unborn babies? I don't know how to answer that. In what respect? Are you talking about like a hybrid baby like this that's extraterrestrial? I'm not sure. And let's see here. Yeah, Feed Me Worms was great. A great guest, very good questions. We appreciate that. And you're watching Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show right here on planet Earth, busting the matrix all over the world, folks. 420 California, and welcome back. I don't know where you went. Good to have you back. Kelly, welcome to the show. Let's see. It's been a while. May I come up to see if there are still interferences and voices in my back? Of course you can. Let's see here. And I do have returning guests on the show. And also, just give people an idea. If you're new to the program, one thing to understand about me is I'm able to, I've helped hundreds of people since last year with implant removals that were put in by lower vibrational ETs. So one of the things as talk show host I do is I have a great understanding of a lot of things and the way people have had certain things happen to them from lower vibrational ETs. And I basically bust the matrix on that. I basically take the implants out on my show, destroy the implants, and they're gone. Voila, no more implants. Hey, good evening. How you doing, sister?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing good. It's been a while.
Yes.
Whoops, let me turn my volume up here. Okay, there we go. I have to charge my earpad. Let me put the earpad away. I'm putting in my charging system here. It says I'm charged up, but I don't think I am. All right. So it's good to have you. So what would you like to share tonight?
I've been on your show a couple times, and every
Yeah.
time there's always some kind of interference in the background, and I just wanted to see if it was still there because I actually watched one of our videos because I recorded it. It's like one of my favorites. And like I was reading the comments and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Like everyone was hearing it. So I just wanted to check if they were still there because, you know, I just want to make sure all this negativity or any extra stuff is gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you able to come on screen?
Um, I get really shy on screens. It makes me feel weird.
It makes you feel weird. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And I just got out of the shower.
Oh no, don't do it. I want you to feel comfortable. So I do hear my voice coming over your thing, but that could be a technical glitch. More technical. That's different.
Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, so I have a Bluetooth, which is my earpods. They're charging up. I have those, but I'm talking to you now. I can hear my voice coming over, but I don't think there's anything. That's me speaking, and I'm coming over your actual phone. It's more technical. There's nothing, I think, weird happening.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I'm going to mute you for a second to see if I still hear anything. Give me a minute. We'll do a test here. So as I'm talking now, yeah, I think it's a technical glitch, something with technical problems. So it's an easy fix. Feed Me Worm says, yeah, it's what's the word for it? It has to do with a Bluetooth or something. But yeah. Yeah. If I thought it was anything else, I'd be the first one to say it. Do you have a Bluetooth on? You're using Bluetooth?
No, not at all. And my
Okay.
volume's down. It's like in the middle.
Yeah. I am coming over your phone, but I don't think there's anything weird happening. Or maybe it could be the Wi-Fi system.
I don't know. I know I'm in my bathroom alone. Everything's off, no fan, nothing. And like, I know I'm looking at the screen and like the blue thing keeps popping up like I am talking, but I'm not.
Oh, cool. Well, I don't think, as I hear my voice coming over, I think it's more technical, but I don't know exactly what it is. But if it was anything weird happening, I know that in 2 seconds. It could be so our new friend Feed Me Worm says it's a feedback loop. On the phone, it's like a feedback loop. I didn't know anything about that. That's what it is, according to what he's telling me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to see your perspective or get your advice on it because, like, yeah, I trust your word.
Yeah. I don't feel anything happening here.
He said my voice sounds like I'm in space. I'm always in outer space.
And you know what? That's not a bad thing considering what's going on the planet right now. That's a good place to be. All right, my friend. I appreciate you coming up. Is there anything you want to share? Any other?
No, I do. Like, I know you were talking about Bashar earlier. And I remember a couple years ago we had spoke about them arriving earlier than they were saying they were going to arrive in like 2030. And I had a message, a telepathic message about them coming 2025 to 2027. And you said you agreed with that timing, you know? And like, I like Bashar. He's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna come way sooner. They're already revealing themselves. They're coming out of the water, like you said.
Yeah.
Like my messages are exactly the same through the water.
And they came out of the water too in New Jersey a couple months ago. There were orbs on the beach cams picking up that were recording big, large orbs coming out the Atlantic Ocean into New Jersey. Yeah, things are happening. Oops. Oh, that was weird. I just said things are happening, and my friend just like, whoop, she's gone. Now I'm going to ask her, did she just turn off her? Did she just disconnect? Did she just disconnect? Let me tell you something, folks. My mind can go wandering right now into worlds where I might not want to go. She might have disconnected. Did you disconnect? Are you still here in the room? Let me see if she's still here. She is. Let me just check and see if she's still on my guest list here. She is actually not here. Oh, she's here. Let me just see something. I want to see if she had a problem with her phone. Maybe she had a low battery. Yeah, with feedback issues with the phone. Well, she's still here watching, so it could have been that she had a low battery. I think so. We'll do the logical answer first. We'll go logical here. Well, next time she comes up, I'll have to find out if it was her phone or something else that was going on. You're watching Encounters. Welcome, everybody, to the show. The new people coming in here. Relaxed. We have a big studio here around the world. We have seats everywhere, futons, meditation pillows. Just take a seat, relax. Yeah, probably phone battery. We have over 45 minutes left in the show. Grateful Love says we lost her in the void. Hey, hello, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Elisa, welcome. Bud G, welcome. Yes, so the video, I did show this video a little bit earlier. Here's also, let me just do this here on that. Let me see. I'm trying to find the, all right, let's see here. So back to the show. Hey, Kelly Cakes, good to have you with us. Kelly says, what is your opinion on plasma orbs that appear when you ask? Well, let's, Kelly, let's bring you up here, or think we can. I guess he has 25 followers. So I'll answer your question. The plasma orbs, many of them are extraterrestrial. Um, so if people are able to get the plasma orbs to appear, the really huge ones that were seen back in South America years ago were plasma spaceships. There's also plasma beings, and of course I've seen some people that are documenting plasma orbs. So interesting. Hey, CmdrAleon, welcome to the show. You're welcome, Kelly. We appreciate you, sister. Nikki, welcome to the show as well. Denise, welcome to Encounters. Did you get the video from UFO that he recorded last night of the ship? I've not looked at my emails yet here, but let me go to my AOL. Watching Encounters, welcome. Let's see here. Nothing yet. Nope. No UFO video footage. So one of the things we have to realize as we're talking about this stuff tonight is that we are basically, he said he got some footage on his iPad, right? Yeah, he did. I haven't got anything, but if he, I'll message him and see if I can get some information. Big Dog, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Scott, welcome. Jared, thank you for that. We appreciate that a lot. Nineology and Monkey Town, welcome to the show. Yeah, you can, Kelly. Send it to CmdrAleon at AOL.com. That's CmdrAleon at AOL.com. And give me a moment, folks. We're going to refill the apple cider thing here. You're watching Encounters, and we'll be right back after this non-commercial commercial, which means no commercials. We'll be right back, and we're going to get some more apple cider. All right, we're back, folks, on Encounters, and we got some more apple cider. You know, the commander lives on the apple cider, sometimes the lemonade too. Good to have you with us. Oh, it's in my messages? Okay. We're going to go into my messages to see the video. And let me see. Hmm. Well, I'll look for it. I'm not going to look for it now, but you're watching Encounters here on TikTok. This is CmdrAleon, your host, and we welcome everybody to the show who's coming in here tonight. We're here till 1 a.m. We're on a 2-hour show most nights, 11 till 1 a.m. Eastern. So welcome. Thank you for the gift. Look at the video I posted on your Facebook page. Okay, Lavola, let me see what you did on. Let's see here. Let me take a look here. Oh, wow, okay. I cannot believe my eyes. Yuri claims he was shown evidence of aliens during a secret experiment at Goddard Space thing. Huh. Yeah, I see the video Lavola is mentioning. Let me see here. Hmm. Well, interesting. Check this out. I don't know if I can show it to you. Anyway, it's an interesting video, Lavola. I just took a quick look at it. I'll have to examine it, again. Hey, that was a really interesting video, Lavola. I did look at it, and if it's true, that's pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Julie Mann, good to see you. Yeah, I'll have to show it. I'll show it tomorrow night. I'm getting low power on my iPad, so I will definitely look at it again and we'll show it. It is pretty wild. Rose, welcome. Any updates from April? From April's ship? Grateful love. I've not heard anything on that end of it myself. Hey, Rose Petal. Hey, everybody. I think it's Heath and something. Saddle Bag. Welcome. Trusting Guard. Thank you for the share. Yeah, grateful love. So I can say my sensibility with the Astro Command in general is that they're getting the planet ready. That's the main update I would say is that the Astro Command, which represents many planetary systems, is getting the Earth ready for eventual contact. Norazora, thank you for sharing. William, welcome, William. Sincere welcome. So I think the most important thing now is, and I want to see if there is a site that I go to for things. Let me. I haven't been there in a while. We'll check this out. And we're just going to see if we can show you some more footage here. Okay. I'm going to show you possibly some new footage here. Let's see here. All right, so let's take a look and let's see what's going on here. And there are sightings happening everywhere. There are sightings happening all over the world. And hey, William, I'm looking to show you some reports here. Let me get out of that. Let's see here. I'm looking for the latest reports here. Let's take a look at New England. I'll have to do some digging. There's a lot of UFO stories that I'm looking at here. It's our goal to practice enlightenment in highest frequency, 145,000 unconditional love. Agreed. Absolutely. Oh, good. Good, Lawrence. We'll have to check that out. We'll have to definitely check that out for sure. So let's see. Hopefully, I'm charged up here. Let's see. I'm going to bring my headphones back on. If anyone has a story to share, we'd love to hear it. Anybody want to come up and share any contact stories? Sonia, thank you for your gift. If anybody has a story to share, disclosure, we'd love to have you on here. Okay, let me see. So let's see if we got who's not anyone who's not been up here yet, who wants to talk about their contactee experiences, whether you've had any other experiences, sightings, whatever just happened in the last few nights. We'd like to hear your story. Hmm. I've got a trans state experience I'd be happy to speak on. Why don't we talk about that possibly tomorrow night? Sounds interesting. 07241-978. Welcome to the show. Everybody coming in here. That'd be great. Susan, welcome, Susan. So I always like to pose the question to people. How many new people here have had experiences such as a contact experience? Anybody out here who has never been on the show, has anybody here ever had or are you having physical contact? Let's see. I always like to pose this. Mini something, Vision Flow, welcome. I know that you want to come on tomorrow night. I think you said so you're at work. We'll have you on tomorrow night to talk about that. And if anybody has had an experience and you want to share it, let's get into it. Let's get into your contact experience. Let's talk about your interaction with space people. Anybody who has not been on here to share their story? Anybody having contact? And thank you. We hit 100K, 100,000K. We're at 12:37. We have 30 minutes left in the show. Just had a stretch there for a minute, folks. Try sending a ping to pull one up. Stephanie BC, welcome. Mark Latchert, good to have you with us. Black Bear, welcome. Yes, so we tonight we talked about basically liberation of consciousness, busting the matrix. When what Bashar was talking about recently on the 25th in one of his communications through CmdrAleon about 2027 being a very important year when there would be some sort of a direct contact. Interesting. Well, it's now about 12:38. I think we're going to kind of wind it down. I really do want to thank every person out here for being here. And we'll be doing another show. I'll have more stuff to share tomorrow night. Linda, welcome to the show. Margaret, welcome. And Brian, welcome to the show. So if you've think about it, if you've had contact, you weren't sure how to do this or whether you wanted to come up live, yeah, Bashar's on TikTok. Or CmdrAleon is on TikTok with Bashar. Yeah. All right, folks. So we will see you tomorrow night. We love everybody out here. Be good to each other. Treat each other with respect, and I know you do. And you guys and gals have a great night. All right. You'll be watching Encounters. We're on here nightly around 11 o'clock. And I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Take care, everybody.